Hello, I'm Seth Johnson with Land a House. So in today's tiny house video, we're going to be framing a wall. Now if you've been following along, I know what you're thinking. Did he really frame a wall without me? The answer is yes. So I've never really spent any time framing or working with this kind of wood at all. So I decided I would do a test run first. And that's why this wall right here is up. But now that I kind of know what I'm doing, I'm going to take you along for the next wall. So let's get started. So on this side of the door is where we're going to place this wall. It's just going to be a regular wall, no doors, no windows. So last week whenever I was looking up how to frame a wall, I realized that everybody on YouTube is using a nail gun. And because I have no electricity out here, it would have to be one that was battery powered. So I went on Lowe's.com and I found one, but it was 500 bucks. A little bit out of my price range. So I kept looking and found another one that was 400 bucks. Still a bit out of my price range. So just when I thought all hope was lost, I found one that was perfect for my price range. Right here. So that's what we'll be using for this tiny house framing project. Alright, we better get started because it looks like rain. So I'm going to measure out the length of our board here, our baseboard, 55 3/4 inch. So let's cut our first base plate to go here. I've discovered that the speed square is one of my favorite tools because it's so quick and easy. So I've never been a safety Sally, but wear glasses and earplugs when you do stuff that's loud and with dust. Why not? I mean, it's definitely worth saving your ears and eyes. Alright, I've got the second board, which is going to be the top plate, and it's the same exact length as the other one was. So we'll cut it here. My sawhorse isn't the best, obviously. Now I have the bottom and top boards cut to the equal lengths. So now we're going to swap over to using this carpenter square, or maybe called a framing square, not sure. But I've matched up the two boards at the end here. And the fat side of this square is the same size as a 2x4. So I'm just going to match these up here and draw a line to represent where the 2x4s are going to go. Here and here. Now with the tape measure from the end of the board, you'll notice at 16 it's got a red place. And what we can do there is come back 3/4 of an inch and make a mark. And the reason we do that is because we want our stud to be centered on 16. So that means on each side of that center will be where the edge of the board is. So then we can just match up here and make our mark. So for every time a multiple of 16 comes along, I'm going to just mark once again 3/4 of an inch before on the board. Well, I'm having to work between rainstorms, so you have a bag over you in case it sounds weird. So I have the end of each board marked for a stud, and it's really close to our last mark here, but that's the way it has to be done. So I'm going to lay these out like this and put the other one up here. And then I'm going to set the studs between these two Now, it just happened to work out that I don't have to cut these, so 96 inches is what I need. So I'm going to lay them out here. And then we're going to nail them together. So because the foundation here is not exactly level, I'm having to hold the boards and nail at the same time. So it's far from ideal. Now I'm putting 2 nails in each stud here. The nails that I'm using are 16D nails, and everything I read said that's what you are supposed to use when you do framing. Oops. Yeah, you can definitely see where a nail gun would come in handy. I found this bag at Lowe's for 10 bucks. You can keep your nails in here, and then has a hook for your nail gun. I'm going to call it a nail gun because I'm too poor to have a real nail gun. Okay, the first side is fully nailed down. Now I'm going to move to the top here and basically just do the same thing. Line up all of our marks here and just nail them in. Well, the frame is together, and now it's time for something that I would highly recommend you get somebody else to help you with. This may either be funny or painful. So I'm gonna see if I can get this up here by myself. I got the last one up, but it wasn't much fun. All right. I see a problem. Just like the previous one, I failed to put these anchor bolts back enough, and so I need to cut this one just a little bit to give room for this board to fit on here flush. So let's do that. Okay, so here's the thought. Going to measure at what point this bolt happens. So we got 24 inches. So at 24, I'm gonna mark maybe ½ inch on both sides, and then use my circular saw to cut that spot. I don't need much space on here, so I've got the saw set at a 45-degree angle, and I figured I'd just take out a little notch out of this piece. So I'm going to raise the blade up a bit so that we're only taking out a little. Cutting that notch out may be a really poor practice, but it does seem to work in this case. I don't know if it reduces the strength of the structure or anything, but let's see what we get here. All right. Now the task of getting this thing nailed down by myself. Very nice. So what I did before was kind of get a nail to stand up by itself a little bit, and then try to get it to hammer down some. And once that was in, I could then take care of the rest of it. Like that. And it takes several of those before it'll stand up on its own. So what I was saying is kind of set a nail like that a little bit, and you can get it started, and then go ahead and get it put in. Now that's if you're working by yourself. Let's take a look at what we've got. So it's a little bit off here, not by much. I've got 2 nails on each side of every stud, and then I had to cut this little spot here for that anchor bolt, and that one seemed to do all right. Now until I can get these side walls on, I'm going to be using a board here on the side as the stabilizer, because I would hate for this to fall over in the wind. This is kind of fun. Rather enjoy working with framing now. Be sure to put in the comments what you see that I'm doing wrong. I would love to hear about it. But remember to be nice, because I am just learning. Well, that concludes today's tiny house video. We now have 2 short walls studded or framed. So next we're going to be working with doors and windows. Once again, I'll have to do a little bit of studying to see how to install those. But thanks for watching. I'm Seth Johnson with Land A House, and I'll see you next time. Bye.